Welcome to the Note to Self podcast. I'm your host, Zoe. I'm a certified professional life coach, serial entrepreneur, verified YouTuber, and published author. On this podcast, you can expect actionable tips, reflections, and inspiration to live your best, most fulfilling life. So, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Note to Self. Today's Note to Self is here's your aha moment around rejection. So, as I feel like those of you listening to this podcast might be familiar with, rejection is always redirection. Rejection of any kind is just source guiding you to something different, something better. This or something better. If you didn't receive what you were desiring, it means that there's something more aligned, more abundant, more fulfilling to you that's on its way to you. But I also just want to acknowledge and validate that the ego definitely has its arguments around rejection. It doesn't like to be rejected, right? It is a very primitive experience when we are triggered around rejection because we are programmed to remain a part of the tribe. So when we experience rejection, that affects us primitively, but it can also affect us in much deeper ways. So today I really want to dive into when the concept of rejection is redirection is hitting, but not quite hitting everything. Because as much as rejection is redirection, and as much as we can identify, yes, this is something very primitive, when it's attached to a wound, a childhood wound, it can feel next level. Personally, I remember feeling rejection once from this guy that I was seeing, and I literally lied in my bed and cried with Palo Santo for like 3 hours, and Lo was over. Lo was over in my living room watching Netflix, and I was just like having a moment in my room for hours. I was in this energetic stress reaction about being rejected from this guy that I really liked, had deep feelings for. And actually, this guy is sort of what inspired this episode today, because what ended up happening over this last week is I was getting into some deep life, universal love conversations with a few of my girlfriends. And this guy from my past came up, the last guy that I was seeing. And that relationship triggered a lot within me. It actually brought me to fully understand and comprehend attachment theory and anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, anxious avoidant attachment. It really helped me to learn all of that, as well as trauma bonds. So this was one of those relationships that really taught me some significant life lessons, which I feel like is also why it's taken me a long time to release it, to let go of it, to heal it. So what ended up showing up for me was I started to question or have this thought come into my mind of, why has it taken so long for me to overcome that relationship? Why did that particular relationship hit me so hard? Or let's say dig into my heart space so much, affect me emotionally so much? I started to really question that. And then I was prompted with this question: why did you want to be chosen so badly in the first place? Right? So as I was really exploring this rejection that I was feeling and like questioning, I was like, well, if I was feeling rejected because he didn't choose to be in a relationship with me, or that wasn't something that happened in our reality or the reality that I'm in right now, why did I want to be chosen by him so badly? And I really started to think about that, and I felt a little bit perplexed, a little bit confused, because again, sort of these emotions, these memories were starting to flood back, and I was like, ugh, I don't know if I really want to go to that place right now. But I took it to my dream space. So prior to going to sleep, I set the intention that I would find clarity on my question. Why did I want to be chosen by him so badly in the first place? And naturally, of course, I could think, well, definitely has stuff to do with mom stuff, but I just want a next level clarity of what does this actually mean, or what did I make it mean? Why does this keep coming up for me? And in my dream space, sure enough, because dreams deliver if you allow them to, if you connect with them, I got the message of significance. So I wanted to be chosen by him because being chosen by him would have represented that I was significant to myself. So him choosing me would then allow myself to view me as significant. And then from having that awareness, I was able to access the power of conscious choice. So this was profound for me because in just seeing that this is around significance, okay, if he's showing up and my body's feeling a little bit uncomfortable when I think about those memories, or I think about the rejection aspect of things, if I can come back to that place of, oh, it's just because you were programmed to think that if this man would have chosen you, that you would have been significant. Now, moving forward with that awareness, as awareness is 90% of the transformation, I can consciously choose that when that shows up for me and has me feeling uncomfortable, I can start to wire in, I am significant. I am important. I am lovable. I am special. I am adored. I choose myself in each moment. It's when we have the power of conscious choice, we feel the most free. So there was some part of myself, a dimensional aspect of myself, that wasn't feeling free or wasn't feeling completely liberated from this previous relationship. And if I'm sharing more personally here, it's, I'm still single. At this point in my life, I definitely know that I'm not looking for a relationship and that I want to be single right now, but it doesn't mean that I'm not doing the work. So when the work presents itself like this, like I said, I take a look at it. I bring it to coaching sessions. I bring it to my dreams and work intentionally with it until I find my answers, and I continue to work on this puzzle. Even though it's not, let's say, my number one focus, I'm not ignoring this part of myself. So the next time that you feel a sense of rejection that seems to hit a bit deeper than, rejection is redirection, I really want you to ask yourself this question. And perhaps you're thinking about a feeling of rejection that you've experienced in your life, or that still feels like it's not fully healed yet. Why did I want to be chosen so badly in the first place? What was I making it mean? And rejection is a natural part of life. Again, it's something that us as human beings will always experience. It will always be triggering in those times in which it starts to rub up against those deeper wounds. But it's a part of our journey. And I don't know about you guys, but when I hear about people sharing vulnerably about times in their lives or experiences that they've had around rejection, I feel like a little bit more free. I feel the sense of awareness. I feel the sense of connection. I feel the sense that I'm not alone in this. And with that being said, I would love to invite you into my course called Write Your Story, which is a DIY course on my stress-free, self-paced way to transform your magical potential into a life-changing story. Getting that idea up in your mind that is a story that you have to share with the world into something tangible, and publishing your book. There is so much beauty that comes from writing your story. You wouldn't have the desire to write a book if it wasn't meant for you and wasn't meant for other people to read, to be healed from, to transform from, to ignite inspiration within the lives of others. So I'll leave the link for Write Your Story down below. And again, just know if you are facing any type of rejection in this moment, it's all perfect, but it's all just leaving you to a new level of awareness. And once you have awareness, you have the power of conscious choice. And that is when you feel free and you can liberate yourself. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you for listening to Note to Self. If you enjoyed this episode, please help me out by rating and reviewing this show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If my energy is resonating with you and you feel the call to work with me, there are an abundance of ways to do so. I offer one-to-one life coaching programs, mastermind containers, and DIY courses, all of which are available through my website, zoearielpolson.com. Until next time, take note of all the abundance that surrounds you as you make the most of this game called life.